Hi, this is a step that I'm doing in order to create a photorealistic watercolor painting. What I'm doing is trying to match the color swatches that I'm going to do exactly as per the photograph, which in here case is these three antelope that I'm planning to paint. Now, I've used watercolor paper, similar cold press paper as to what I'm going to paint the actual painting on, and that's important. Otherwise, if the paper is different, then the kind of color that it will show will be different. I will actually paint it and then place it on top of the portion that I'm planning to do. Now this is particularly easy in terms of color painting because there's not much variance, it looks like, but there's still undertones of red here, pink red kind of somewhere here, and there is this yellow, almost yellowy sandy color, and then the eye, which is a rich brown, and so is the snout, a rich brown. So I'm going to try and get all those done, and perhaps this darker sort of, again, burnt sienna rich brown color, or maybe I'll swatch this gray brown, this color. So that's going to be the project right now. I will do the swatching and then show. So out of my color palette, I'm actually just planning to use the brown, this burnt sienna, and Aussie red gold, which is like a yellow gold color, and then the ultramarine blue, because I'm going to use the blue and burnt sienna in order to get that rich brown rather than get a pre-mixed brown. It's much richer when we mix colors. So I'm going to just mix it to various intensities, and if we add more blue, then it'll be the gray. And I did do my ultramarine and burnt sienna combination, but it's a bit too brown. I think the rich chocolate has a bit of red in it, so I'm going to add a bit of the Venetian red to see if it warms the color a bit. So here's my Venetian red. I'm going to use that. Add it here. And I might do the deer snout in a few areas in this red and overlay a darker brown on top after that. So somewhere here is the first layer. These portions have dried, so while that dries, I'm going to look at the other things. These portions have dried, and I just wanted to show here how when colors are dried, they look different as compared to when they're wet. So this one here I think looks a little bit too sandy. It needs a bit more red again here, so this particular color. So it's just not plain yellow ochre and burnt sienna. There's a bit of red to it. So again, I'm going to add a bit of the Venetian and see if another layer works better that way. So I'm again using the same burnt sienna and a bit of the grey, blue, darker, and then adding a bit of Venetian red. Of course, the good thing about watercolor is that you can work it in layers. So it's not a big problem if the color temperature is slightly different. We can add additional layers on top. But it's always a good feeling to get the right shade. It still looks a bit muddy, eh? So I might do another color temperature. I might do something like, this is okay for, say, this portion. No, too dark. This side maybe. This is okay. This bit is okay for this bottom skin. But for here, I'll try another swatch and see if having a bit more red, pink red in it will help. So I'm going to go back, not have Venetian red. Now I'm going to try some alizarin crimson to my, because I just think that mammals are red-blooded anyway. So an undertone of red probably will make it a bit more alive looking. Don't want a dead deer, you want a live deer. So I'm going to try this on this swatch. Okay, this is much better. So here is better. So this is burnt sienna plus alizarin crimson. I'm actually quite happy with that rather than this, because this is too yellow looking. It's weird. And if I just wanted to add a touch of yellow to it, I would,